so lazy. Get out of the way. So we're gonna see if we can maybe get a few of these guys into the water here.
Blake, you scared them.
Oh, both of them are. Yeah.
Well, it's because the other guy stepped on them.
Hey, I do want to wait.
There's a few of those looking pretty big.
This one's missing his front paws.
Oh.
Well, that one's missing his claws.
Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're coming up here.
I love the window.
Hold on, you gotta get a picture behind bars first. Oh wait, yeah, let's do this one. And then we'll do one behind bars.
Can I swap places?
Mom, what is this?
It's a shooting game.
Do you need to pay money to play it?
Aren't you gonna hold on to the bars? Like you went out?
Mom, do you have to pay money to play this?
Yes. You like that music, Micah?
What place is to play a game?
Anyone else? Think you're gonna put your hoodie head in there?
I thought you wanted out.
Hey babe. Do you see he is like dancing up a storm to this music?
He's waiting for it to come back on.
I know.
That guy is the... This is a sitting game, though.
I don't think he knows how to hold a gun though.
Charlie didn't want to become wanted.
Yeah, I missed Blake over there because I was busy watching Micah.
Mommy, that guy just want to
Give me your profile picture. Because you're like, huh? Give me your profile picture. That'd be kind of
Funny.
Mom, I will back you.
If Dad takes it with your phone, then you're the one who has control of it.
Mom, if you get back here, you're so little.
I love how it's got dirty feet coming out the bottom. See, I'm just doing all video. Then I'll take screenshots later.
There's steps there.
Watch out, Micah. Step. Good job.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta put Micah's face in there and then his arms.
Oh, there you go. Babe, you gotta hold Micah up and stick him in there.
No, here's what you do. You have Micah put... Oh, no. You have Micah put his face and then Ned put his hands in.
There you go.
Okay, come on, Micah.
Oh no, Blake's in jail.
Put his head.
He's got 3 arms. Too funny. Look, there's an outhouse over there.
Micah, what are you doing? No, get out.
I'll go to that house. Mommy? Yeah. Yeah. Go to that.
Just hang over that way and go find seats.
Yeah, let's circle around here first to grab the 6-year-old who's checking out the outhouse.
Mom.
Do you know what that is, honey?
No.
Oh, it's an outhouse with a person sitting in it.
There's already people pulling up on it.
Okay, let's go watch the alligator show.
Come on, guys. Wait, do alligator?
Doesn't look like he's going to the bathroom.
Huh?
Doesn't look like he's going to the
No, it looks like he's just hanging out. Okay, to the right, guys.
Who's dropping stuff?
Do you want to take your hoodie off?
Oh, no.
Spread out.
Okay.
Before we get started, just a quick reminder, after our gator show here, we're gonna be doing a bird show in this arena down there to my left. And after that bird show, we'll have another snake show all the way back there behind the, of those four. So most of these ones all sitting right in this area, they are going to be American alligators. We'll see. Maybe poke your head up a little bit. You're so lazy. So these alligators, you're going to see they have more of a square or rectangular shaped head, or that U-shaped snout there, or big ones like this crocodile here. This one's a Nile crocodile, as well as this monster sitting right here, once again a Nile crocodile. You'll see those crocodiles do have more of a triangular shaped snout, more of that arrowhead shape. That is the easiest way to tell the difference between alligators and crocodiles. There are a few other ways to do so, but they're really just a bunch of things that only are so lazy. Get out of the way. So we're gonna see if we can maybe get a few of these guys into the water here.
Look at he's pulling his tail.
Now,
Right there, he lands.
go that way. Go for a swim. There you go. So another way to tell the difference between these alligators and crocodiles here, that has nothing to do with their appearance, is an alligator you'll see later and a crocodile you'll see after a while. But one way to tell the difference between these alligators and crocodiles that has nothing to do with their appearance is that alligators are going to be found in semi-tropical parts of the world. This is where it's going to get cold during the winter months. Now, being cold-blooded, they are the same temperature as their surroundings, so once they get cold and their metabolism slows down, they stop eating and then they become dormant. These crocodiles are going to be found where it is warm throughout the year, so they are active and feeding year-round. So alligators, they are found in the southeastern part of the United States. Can you just jump in the water before I get stuck over here? So they are found in the southeastern part of the United States, and strangely enough, all the way on the other side of the earth in a place known as the Yangtze River Valley in China. These crocodiles throughout the tropics. We do have one caiman in here. He is actually sitting right here. This guy is a Yakare caiman. Those caiman are found in southern Mexico, Central and South America. And then the little more rare gharial, which we don't have in here, it does look very similar to those slender snout crocodiles sitting right up there by the glass. They're going to be found in India, Nepal, and Bangladesh. So, as I herd more alligators that way here, a lot of times when we come out here, people expect us to get kind of chased around, maybe run for our lives a little bit. And instead, I walk out here and you basically get this. And because of this, most people ask us, are they alive? And yes, they're all alive. But being cold-blooded, they develop no nervous energy or have no energy to waste. So when these animals have nothing to do, this is exactly what they're going to do, is nothing. And even when they have things to do, such as find food, this is often accomplished by them doing nothing. Like lions and tigers, they do rely on what they can catch in order to survive. But lions and tigers are warm-blooded, so they have the ability to stalk their prey and then the endurance to run it down. Crocodilians, however, don't have that endurance to stalk their prey, and you can take one good look at any of these ones sitting right out in front of me here and tell me they are really built for running. They do have these really big, heavy bodies and tails, but some comparatively short, weak legs. This does not mean they cannot run, however. A 6-foot alligator could possibly outrun a human for a short distance, but because of what they prey upon in the wild, they're not even going to try. What they'll do is, like you see this one sitting in the water right here, they're just going to sit with their eyes just above the surface, wait for an animal to come down to get a drink or go for a swim, and they quietly sink underwater, swim over, jump out, grab a hold of that animal. They are also just as effective on land, as maybe we pick on this little guy right here. What they'll do is once again sit motionless, wait for animals or potentially a young gator wrestler to come over here and get a little bit too close, and he's going to quickly swing his head to the side. Quickly swing his head to the side. So fast that no one can see it. Though they are quite quick when it comes to striking, but comparatively slow as it comes to running. But a lot of people hear that you can hold the mouth closed of, say, a very large alligator. And this does have some truth to it. They have a very strong bite force, but the muscles that open their jaws are relatively weak. Now, of course, I can't just walk up here and try to grab an alligator's mouth, because he's probably going to try to bite me, or most of them might end up running away just in order to hide themselves. So there are quite a few methods we use when doing this. We refer to it as alligator wrestling. So do you guys want to see me wrestle an alligator? I was hoping you would say no, but we'll go ahead and get ourselves an alligator here. So, do you guys want to see me wrestle a big one or a small one?
Big.
A nice one or a mean one?
Mean one.
All right, small nice one it is. We'll get ourselves a big mean alligator after we get you out of the way. Come on. Oh, you guys are so lazy. All right, go first with him. So, we'll see. Maybe we can get one of these big alligators here out of the water.
Yeah.
All right. So, since you already tried to bite my hand off earlier, I'll use you. No. Stay. Sit. So, what I'm gonna do here is grab my alligator by the tail. You always want to make sure you get them at the non-toothy end. So I'm gonna pull him out here. Now, I am gonna go ahead and jump on his back. This is how you take your alligator for a walk. So, to jump on their back here, the first thing I'm looking out for is I want to make sure that his head is facing straight out in front of him. Because of where their eyes are situated, they can see things off to the sides a little bit better than they can see directly in front of them or directly behind them. So, we'll see if we can get him to straighten out here as he's going to take off on me one more time. Come on. All right. And now it's yeehaw. All right. So, ouch. Thank you. So, jumping onto our alligator here, you'll notice I land with my knees up into his armpits. I get my hands on his neck here. This is referred to as the safety position. From here, the alligator is not able to bite me, which is very important to me. You always want to make sure when jumping on an alligator that you do not overshoot your safety position. As I promise, you want to stay away from that big toothy end up there. So, now that I have this one here, I do like to point out a few of the adaptations that makes these animals very well equipped for their aquatic life. The first thing is if maybe I get him to open up his mouth here one more time. If you take a look inside of his mouth, or into the mouth of any other ones that might have theirs open, you're going to see you cannot see down the throat of an alligator. Now this is because their tongues actually act like valves. So this allows them to open their mouths underwater without actually taking in any water. So really the only time you're going to see down their throat is if you catch them mid-yawn, or if you're on your way down. You're going to avoid that one. As well as, on the topic of valves here, his nostrils are located right up there in front of his snout. They too have valves that close when submerging, as do his ears, which are found directly behind the eyes there. This is going to keep them from getting water into any places that they do not want it. And their eyes, which are up on the top of their head, very useful for things like hunting, like I mentioned earlier, just sitting with their eyes above the surface. Hello. Yeah, enjoy the fun. It's a lot funnier when you're on the outside of the glass. So, like I was saying, their eyes are up here on the top of their head, which is a great adaptation for hunting, but it does leave their eyes in a bit of a vulnerable position. So you'll see their eyes actually retract down into their skull where they're protected by that large bony ridge there. And as his eyes start to open, we get him closed here one more time. Easy. So once those eyes start to open, you will see they do kind of appear to roll forward. Now this is a secondary eyelid that's known as the nictitating membrane. And it's going to kind of act like a pair of dye goggles. It does allow them to more easily see while underwater. Alright, just relax there, big guy. So you'll notice I do cover his eyes quite a bit here. And this is just said to relax the alligator a little bit. Sometimes you hear that it makes them think that they're dead. I don't really believe that. But you do have to remember their brains are about the size of a walnut. Just still twice the size of mine, that's why I'm out here right now. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and cover his eyes one more time. But like I said, they can easily see off to their sides, but their vision directly in front of them and directly behind them is a little bit more limited. So, if I can get this one to open up his mouth here one more time. Say, "Aw." Oh. You're saying you don't even want to try to bite me. So, as he slowly opens his mouth here. So, like I said, he cannot really see straight out in front of him. So I am safely able to dangle my fingers right out here in front of his mouth. He cannot see me. As well as long as I get him to open up just wide enough there, I can stick my hand straight into his mouth. It is very important. At no point do you touch the inside of his mouth. It is extremely sensitive. So if at any point you do touch in there, you'll see those jaws come snapping down with tons of force. So we'll go ahead and get him to set his head down there a little bit. Now, like I said before, you can hold the mouth closed of, say, 6 or 7 foot alligator. And these jaws, they do start all the way at the back corners of their head here. So what I'm gonna do, starting with my hands on his neck, I'm just gonna slowly reach down underneath, making sure I can get a good grip on his jaws here. I'm gonna slowly work my way up to the front. Yeah. And relax there one more time. So, slowly work my way up to the front of his mouth here. I'm then gonna rock back with his head. So anytime we get a hold of their mouth here, we do hold their heads up into this position. This is going to stop them from being able to spin or roll out from underneath of us, which is usually the first thing they're going to do in order to free themselves. It's very possible that if he spins or rolls, he could stop on his sides or his back, which gives him a clear shot at my stomach or my face. I do like both of those things. It's also possible that he goes spinning around and throws me into the water to that big alligator over there, Albert, who is clearly waiting for me. Or, in worst case scenario, we go rolling around a little bit and I get caught in his tail, wrapped up in his feet. All of a sudden, he's on my back holding my mouth shut. So we do hold them up into that position there just to limit their movement even further. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump off our alligator here. So to safely get off our alligator, the first thing I'm gonna do is cover his eyes here. Once again, just relax him a little bit. I'm gonna make sure I keep his head down, make sure he stays calm, make sure no one's sneaking up behind me here, and very quickly, straight back off our alligator. And that right there is alligator wrestling. So, now that a few more of these guys have joined me up here, I like to draw some attention to their teeth. You're going to see that those teeth, they are more of a conical shape or rounded pointed. So with teeth of this nature, they cannot bite off chunks of things like we do. Instead, what they're going to do is grab a hold of prey animals, violently shaking their heads around in order to tear off maybe 4 or 5 smallish volunteers. Not quite sure you get what I mean by that one. Now, I do have a bucket of chicken sitting back here. Now, all the food that we feed to these animals in the arena here is cut into little pieces, which does allow them to swallow them whole. If we just allowed these alligators and crocodiles to tear meals apart like they do in the wild, you'd see a lot of injuries. They get really careless and have no problem grabbing a buddy's foot, possibly even a tail. And we do associate food here with a couple signals. The first one is a green bucket. The second one is going to be a sound signal. I'm just going to hit this bucket with this stick, and they're going to know food is ready. So, who's hungry? There we go. So, on the top of their head, they can see chicken up here, but not so much once it's on the ground. So they're just going to hear it hit the ground. Notice they're all going to run over to that spot in order to find it. Now, You can see I gave this alligator a pretty good throw. It hit him right in the face. He still missed it. It's usually a good sign he's a Packers fan. So here we have one of those big Nile crocodiles there. And as I'm giving out a few more pieces of chicken, you'll see once they get it in their mouth, they will start to make a chewing motion with their mouth there. Now this is not them chewing the chicken at all. Instead what they're doing is just arranging it in their mouth, which allows them to more easily swallow it. And we'll toss these in there, catch some of their attention. And we're gonna see. There, look at that. I'm gonna see if I can maybe sneak down here just a little ways. All right. You hungry? Come get the chicken. Come on. Oh boy. Yeah. It's over there. It's right next to you. Over here. Yeah. Okay. You stay. Oh, I shouldn't have walked over here. So, yeah. I see you. Yeah, we gotta get out of here. Now, as I give pieces to some of the ones on the ground, you'll notice they roll their heads off to the side to pick up those pieces of chicken. Now their faces are way too long and their necks are much too short for them to just reach straight out in front of them to pick up those pieces. I'll toss a few into the water here. This guy here is one of those slender snout crocodiles. Clearly not that hungry. But as they find those pieces in the water, they're going to bring those heads up above the surface in order to swallow. Because their tongues act like valves, they cannot swallow while still underwater. Come on, Albert. You can do it. You gotta get up here if you want food. Come on. You're so close. You can do it. Come on. You're almost there. Just a little bit farther. There you go, big guy. All right, up. All right. Oh, good boy, Albert. And we'll avoid you for now. So I have a couple more pieces here. Obviously, I do not have enough to feed every single one of them. But being cold-blooded, they have relatively slow metabolisms, so they really have no problem waiting until the next show, maybe even a few days or weeks before their next meal. And there is a group of Nile crocodiles found in Africa that have one substantial meal a year. This is as a wildebeest migration passes through. I got one more piece here. Looks like our Nile is still hungry. Come on. Get the chicken. All right, never mind. What about one of you? All right. So that right there, it is the last of my chicken I have with me today. But I do have one more quick surprise for you guys. So I'm going to run back here, wash off my hands, and I will be right back. And then rake a nest together using leaves and other vegetation. These eggs, they are incubated by nature, the sun, the fermentation of the plants. Being cold-blooded, they produce no heat of their own, so they cannot incubate those nests themselves. But by the time these little guys hatch, they are very well equipped to hunt. They have some nice sharp teeth here, just like the adults. They're going to catch and eat anything they can get a hold of. So in just a second, I'm going to run back here. I'm going to tape Fluffy's mouth shut and actually come out there and walk my way around, giving you guys a chance to take a picture of Fluffy, take a picture of me, pet him, pet me, whatever you want to do. I do remind you guys, we are going to be starting a bird show here in just a few minutes in this arena over to my left. I'm not going to be over there doing that show because birds are absolutely terrifying. Thank you guys so much for stopping out today.
Blick, here's your chance, buddy.
Awesome.
Taya, hold on. You gotta wait your turn.
Yep, be nice.
Gentle. Gentle is not in his nature.
Yeah, he's not gentle, if anything.
Okay, no, you're gonna hurt it. Ted, you want to pet it, honey?
Wait, we're not ready.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
We're next in line.
What do you guys tell him for letting you pet him?
You're welcome. All right. Anybody else?
Okay, anybody from our crew? We'll get out of the way so our skin.